10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to our Dual Language Plus program parent informational meeting. We are the three principals of the dual language schools. I am Dr. Laura Quintana, the principal of Hillcrest Elementary School. And my next colleague.
I'm Denise Williams, a principal at Dewey Elementary School.
And our third musketeer principal.
I got a little too excited. My name is Dr. Valerie Sun, and I am the proud principal of Duff Language Magnet Academy. And Dr. Quintana is going to share our agenda with us.
So hello, everyone. I'm going to review quickly our agenda of what we have established here for you this afternoon. We're going to spend a little bit of time just explaining what specifically is our Dual Language Plus program and what makes us unique and different from all the other nearby school districts, and why Garvey School District should be your prime district of where you would like to have your children attend. We will then talk about why enroll in a dual language program, and then we will talk about the specific designs that each dual language program consists of. We'll talk about each of our schools and what we offer. We'll also talk about challenges and the commitment it takes to be a dual language student, and then we will go over the application process and enrollment. And for those of you who are not aware, the applications just opened up yesterday, and we will give you all the dates and timelines for that information. So our very first part is, what exactly is Dual Language Plus? We've all heard of dual language, and we've all heard of all districts offering dual language, but we are the only district that is offering Dual Language Plus. That means that our job is to give your child a multilingual, multicultural education right from kindergarten all the way up through 6th grade. So what we do is we offer the target language, and we also offer your other language. So if you're selecting the Chinese Mandarin program, your child will be receiving instruction in both Chinese Mandarin and in English as the main languages. Plus, they will be then receiving a complementary third language in the form of cultural appreciation, and that would be Spanish. So at the end, they would have 3. The same applies for our Spanish dual language programs. The target languages of instruction are Spanish and English, and then they would be receiving cultural appreciation through their Mandarin Chinese component. So that's what the little plus stands for. It means that you're getting extra here at Garvey School District, because we think of having more for your child so that your child really can succeed in this global economy.
And next, I'm going to explain to you why you want to select a Dual Language Plus program. Why do we want to put our students in a Dual Language Plus? Well, the very first thing is research has shown time and again that dual language programs help our students develop bilingualism and biliteracy. That means they're not just speaking the language, but they're also able to read and write in the language. And even more than that, they become highly proficient in English and the target language. So I want you to think about it this way. A lot of our students may have developmental language at home or basic language at home, but our students will be able to explain different, scientific facts, explain math problems, talk about the California missions and other things in their target language. So in our schools, either in Mandarin or in Spanish. Furthermore, they are able to increase their cognitive competencies, and they also demonstrate higher academic excellence. Research has shown that they are able to handle more cognitively demanding and academic tasks because they have this idea of persevering through the difficulties that they could possibly go through in their classrooms. So think about yourselves as a language learner, if you are a language learner, and just the little difficult things that you have that go on, right? And our students, because we are learning two languages and 2 cultures, and on top of a 3rd language and culture, we have a lot of positive attitudes towards our own ethnic identity and also world cultures. And we learn to appreciate the differences and the similarities that we all have within us and share. And next, Miss Williams is going to talk about our program designs.
So we have two different program designs. Okay, there we go. I apologize, my internet, it's freezing and then it goes there. So I think we're going, here we go. Here at Dewey Elementary, we have a Spanish program that is a little bit different than the Mandarin English program. So if you look at the top where the red arrows are, beginning in kindergarten, we start with a progressive instruction. 90% of the instruction that is taught in our dual language Spanish-English program, 90% of that is done in Spanish. 10% of the school day is done in English. And we incorporate 30 minutes of the Third Plus program. So like Dr. Sun and Dr. Quintana mentioned, we are unique in that we offer a third language component. So at Dewey, 4 days out of the week for 30 minutes, each of the dual language classes will receive Mandarin instruction during the 30 minutes, 4 days a week. As they progress into the grade levels, going to first grade, then the time decreases a little bit. As they're starting to learn more Spanish, the time in instruction for English, for Spanish is 80% of the instructional day is taught in Spanish in first grade, then 20% of the instructional day is in English. As they go into the next grade level, it will decrease, but the Mandarin time, the Mandarin Plus component always stays the same for each grade level. Now, a better look is looking at the schedule. If you look at the first box here in the first row, it does show you that the third in kindergarten, the yellow highlight is what is taught in English. So ELD in science is taught in English for the 10% of the day. Then the 90% of the instruction is in the shaded area, which is Spanish instruction in language arts, which is reading and writing, social studies, math, and PE. So in kindergarten, a majority of the day is in Spanish, and the yellow highlight is the 10% in English. Then you see, as we progress, the English yellow portion increases a little bit each year. So more time in first grade, 20% is dedicated to English instruction of science and ELD. Now again, ELD stands for English Language Development. So our students who are English learners receive additional English instruction in English, and then they proceed to the Spanish instruction, which is language arts, social studies, math, and PE. Now, as we go into second grade, 70% of the instruction is in Spanish. And you'll notice we start to include ELA. Our English language arts begins to have English instruction because we are starting to prepare students to go into our upper grade where more English will be instructed. We do still have Spanish language arts as well, and social studies and math. Then in third grade, you will see that the English instruction increases to 40%, and 60% of the instructional day is in Spanish. But when you get to fourth grade, fourth, fifth, and sixth grade is a 50-50 model, which means half of the day is taught in English, and then the other half of the day is the target language, which is Spanish. And again, introducing more and more ELA, language arts, writing and reading in both English and Spanish, because it does become more rigorous in the fourth, fifth, and sixth grade of just content. And learning both English and Spanish is divided in the instructional day for half of the day. But again, they all dual language classes that do receive the 30 minutes, 4 times a week of Mandarin instruction. Now, it is a little bit different for the Mandarin component. If we look at the Mandarin English program that is offered at Hillcrest and Duff, all grade levels are on a 50-50 model, which means half of the instructional day is taught in Mandarin, the target language, and the other half of the instructional day is taught in English. They do receive 30 minutes plus 2 days a week in the component plus, which is the Spanish. So it is the reverse at Hillcrest and Duff. Now, again, what's unique about the Mandarin program is that they share, they do team teaching, and their setup is a little bit different. At Dewey, we have, again, the progressive model, but at Hillcrest and Duff, it is a split 50-50 instructional day. And there you can see at the bottom, again, it shows you the breakdown of the subjects that are taught. So ELA, which is English Language Arts, ELD, Math, Science, and Social Studies, again, is taught in English, as well as Chinese Language Arts in the Mandarin, Math, Science, Social Studies, and PE is divided to the 50-50 model. Okay. I am going to begin with just introducing a little bit of the programs and things we have here at Dewey Elementary. Again, Dewey Elementary, Duff Elementary, or Duff Academy and Hillcrest are the only 3 schools in the Garvey School District that offer dual language. So I am the principal at Dewey. This is, if you have never been to Dewey, we are located in the city of San Gabriel. So we are at the tail end of the district, north of the district. We are the Dewey Dolphins. So our mascot is the Dewey Dolphins. Here in the picture, you could see our front office. So if you have any questions or you would like to schedule a school visit, you can contact us at our school office. I'm trying to go to the next screen, sorry. Thank you. At Dewey, we currently have 375 students enrolled. We have 5 dual language classes. So kindergarten through 5th grade, we have 1 Spanish class at each grade level. We also offer the Dual Language Plus, which is the Mandarin instruction for 30 minutes, 4 times a week. We do offer intervention for all our students, including dual language. So students that need additional help can go during the day. We have a teacher who does extra support intervention during the day. And then we do offer after-school intervention in Spanish and English for our dual language students that need additional help. And our big program is our positive behavior program. Since our mascot is the Dewey Dolphin, we say, what do dolphins do? Dolphins flip. And the acronyms FLIP, F-L-I-P, is to remind the students that we all focus, learn, we inspire, persevere. So we encourage the positive behavior as Dewey Dolphins flip. Next, you can see that one of the programs that we do is based on a school goal, school-wide academic vocabulary. We know that this is a very important aspect of learning, both in the dual language program and for our English program. So school-wide, every week, every Monday, we have what we call Words of the Week. Those words are introduced by students. So students introduce them to the whole school. Our dual language students introduce them in Spanish. So we do introduce academic vocabulary, 2 words school-wide that we all work on, and our dual language students present them in Spanish. Student programs, we incorporate the Leader in Me leadership program skills. ASB, we have student-led group here at our school that helps make our school a better place by input by the students. And we have a technology crew, which students learn how to utilize the technology where they can help during the day for programs and presentations. We do have a wellness center, and that is for social emotional learning and support. So our social well-being of our students is very important to us. And our wellness center, which has our school counselor and our school behavior interventionist, they do work with certain student behaviors throughout the day. And that is a calming room that they can take a break from the room and enter in there. Lastly is parent involvement. We encourage lots of parent involvement by attending coffee with the principals. We call them Dewey discussions, where we discuss topics with parents. School site council, that is another way to get involved with talking about the school goals and budget. Our ELAC, or English Language Advisory Committee, which is our committee for English learner parents to help provide input as well for the English learner program at our school. Parent volunteers, we highly, highly encourage parents who would like to volunteer and have the time to come into the classroom or to the school. And then our PTA. We have a parent-teacher association group here that does lots of activities and fundraising for our school. If you look at the bottom, there is an example of our kindergarten dual language students. Sorry, can we go back? There is just an example, one more. Oh, sorry. There's an example of two of our students. They are presenting the academic language for the week. In blue, they say it in English. And then these are dual language kindergarten students that read it in Spanish as well, and they introduce it. So both pictures introducing our school-wide academic vocabulary. The next slide shows some examples of our students, again, performing. At the first picture, this is our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students performing at a gala event in Mandarin. So during their Mandarin instruction, they do learn visual performing arts, songs, they read and embrace the culture. So here they were performing a Mandarin song. And then at the bottom, this was our winter assembly, where the dual language classes also performed in Spanish. So we do give school tours on Tuesdays from 9 to 10, except the last Tuesday of February. So if you're interested, please give the office a call and we will schedule a visit on a Tuesday. However, if the Tuesday does not work for you, please call and I can accommodate through your schedule as well. We look forward to seeing you at Dewey in our Spanish program. Next, I'm going to introduce the next principal, Dr. Sun.
Hi, everybody. I am Dr. Sun, and I'm the proud principal of Duff Language Magnet Academy. We are a small school. As you can see, we have approximately, for the 24-25 school year, we will have approximately 290 students. We are a full dual language academy, which means that all of our students participate in the dual language program, and we have 2 classes per grade level, from kindergarten all the way up to 6th grade. We will be, our 5th graders right now, which is our highest class, they will be promoted up to 6th grade, and we will be adding 48 seats in our kindergarten class next year. At Duff, we have a wellness room as well, just like at Dewey. And we have a full-time counselor who runs that wellness room so that students, if they need a break during the day, they are able to go in and see her, or if they need a conversation with her, they're able to go see her there as well. We will soon have a library at our school. We currently do not have one, but we will have one soon. And we also have a full-time intervention teacher who helps our students in English during the school day, and in the afternoon after school, some of our Chinese teachers provide Mandarin intervention for our students who need the help. We're also really lucky to have multilingual office staff. Helena, who is doing our Vietnamese translation at the moment. She speaks Vietnamese, Mandarin, and Cantonese and English. Miss Wallace, who is doing our Mandarin translation right now, she speaks Mandarin and Cantonese. Our office assistant, Sandra, she speaks Spanish and English, and our health assistant is also a Spanish speaker and English speaker. And I myself speak Mandarin and English and French and enough Spanish to get by. As I mentioned, all of our dragons are in the Dual Language Plus program. So we spend 50% of the day in English and the other 50% in Mandarin. And we have 40 minutes twice a week of Spanish during the week for our students. And our teachers have, our English teacher and our Chinese teacher have the Spanish class at the same time. So our students kind of are getting that Spanish instruction at the same time. We have very dedicated teachers and staff to ensure that your students have the best learning experience while they are at school. And right here, you can see the two murals that were just added this year to represent the two cultures that we have at our school, or that we instruct at our school. For monthly meetings, here's how you can get involved, right? We have monthly parent meetings with our parent-teacher organization. The meetings are held in the evening so that everyone can participate. We also have a monthly coffee with the principal, where we have a more relaxed environment would like to have addressed. And I also provide some training at this moment, or different training opportunities for the parents. Some of the parent trainings that we have held is student technology. So I, as a principal, teach you how to use the student technology and the student programs that they use regularly during the classroom. And we are also a 7 Habits school. So our students learn the 7 habits, and I have trained the parents on what the 7 habits are so that we can speak the same language and at home and at school. We have special teams, just like at Dewey. We have an ELAC, which is the English Language Advisory Committee. And we also have a school site council that helps us make our decisions. And for our student programs, we have a lion dance team that meets on Thursdays and Friday evenings. We have a book club with me, with the principal, it's a school-wide book club for any student who would like to participate. We have a student council who help us make decisions for our positive behavior intervention and supports program. And we also have a weekly leadership vocabulary. Our word this week is priority, and it's always been my joy to hear our students use these words in sentences, such as a kindergarten who came up and told me, my priority at school is to learn. How awesome is that, right? Here you can see some pictures of our students at an assembly. This is our holiday performance where our students play the ukulele. We have different area decorating contests. This is the one for the holiday season. And we had some silly hair day with our students' decorated hair. You are welcome to come take a tour of our school. You are able to call our office directly, or you can reserve online. We have some space available tomorrow morning at 8:30, next week, February 2nd, or February 23rd. And if more dates are needed, please let our office know, call our office, and we will make sure that we accommodate you. At the bottom right over here, we have our student council members. You can see parents visiting a classroom right here, and then we have one of our kindergarten class. And next, you get to learn more about the Chinese Dual Immersion program at Hillcrest.
So hello, everyone, again. I'm Dr. Laura Quintana, the principal of Hillcrest Elementary. Hillcrest Elementary is located in the city of Monterey Park. And as you can see, we are the school that's on the hills. And that means that you will have the most gorgeous view of the San Gabriel Valley from our campus. And we've tried to show you a little aerial view of what part of our campus looks like on the top of the hill. And we are the Mighty Huskies. And our mantra is, we are the Husky Pack, where we leave no Husky behind. So we hope that you enjoy some of our information that we are here to share. So you'll get a little view of some of the things that we offer on our campus. We have Spirit Days because we like to involve all of our students from kindergarten through sixth grade. And we are one of the largest elementary campuses in the school district with 443 students. And half of our students all belong to the dual language program, but we also offer non-dual language program on our campus. You can also see that we love recognizing our students, and we do plenty of recognition assemblies where we invite families and we make them very special events. This year, our theme for the students who redesignated in English language, we threw them a Walk the Red Carpet Hollywood event. So all children were able to participate in a little charcuterie party while they receive their certificates of recognition. And every Friday, we hold raffles to honor all of our students that are showing positive behavior and good citizenship on campus. We do have leaders on our campus that represent ASB and ambassadors plus Lighthouse kids. So this picture here shows you our 55 student leaders that have positions on campus. We give kids leadership jobs, so they are greeters at the gates. They are kinder readers. They are cafeteria monitors. So we have students spread all over campus, supporting the campus in beautification and just making it a wonderful place. And here we have a picture of one of our dual language classrooms that is in kindergarten while they were working on rehearsing for their winter performance. And these are all the things we offer at Hillcrest, plus a lot more. So as I mentioned earlier, we are a full kindergarten through sixth grade elementary school. Our dual language right now does go up to fifth grade, but next year we will have our first incoming sixth grade cohort. And that means that we will be expanding and growing. We will be adding additional classrooms to our campus as we keep growing. And then we also have a makerspace STEM workshop area for our students where they're able to engage in science, technology, and building projects. So think of it as a Home Depot encounters a Michael's store and encounters a Dollar Tree store, all three explosions in there, and has everything a child could imagine that they can use to invent and design. And so we are very proud of that space so that kids can explore and be creative. We have bilingual instructional aides in our lower grade classrooms, and that means that we have them supporting all of our early grades, which are kinder, first, and second grade. And we also have bilingual aides that are supporting the upper grade students on interventions and giving them extra tutoring support. We follow the whole Leader in Me curriculum in both Mandarin and in English. So all students do receive their instruction in both components. We are an AVID certified elementary school, and we're very excited. And so our Mandarin teachers are also engaged in AVID Mandarin traditional strategies. And then this year we are going to be piloting second grade AVID to see how that looks like on our campus so that we can expand down to kindergarten, hopefully within the next 2 years down to kinder and second grade. We are school-wide field days, very happy. And that means that we partner with different organizations like the LA Rams or the Dodgers or the Kings and bring workshops to the kids where all students get to participate on a field day and get to practice a sport that they normally wouldn't be exposed to. So we try to give opportunities in those ways. All of our third through sixth grade students go on a college field trip every year so that they get exposed early on to universities and colleges, because that is one of our expectations, that we want kids to have as many choices and opportunities so that they can dream very big, because the only reason that holds something back is you didn't get to see it or know about it. So we're trying to do a lot of exposure that way. We do have a student ASB that's made up of our fourth through sixth graders. We have our Husky ambassadors. Those are kids that are from third through sixth grade that get to have leadership positions on campus. And then we have a third group of students, which are the Lighthouse kids. And from there, we have representatives in kinder, first, second, all the way up to sixth grade. And they all participate in our shared decision-making on campus so that we can have student voice. And we do have an active PTA. At Duff, I know that Dr. Sun mentioned they have a PTO. So they both are parent organizations where you can become very active in fundraising and participating in school events, attending field trips, or just bringing a lot of fun moments for the kids like movie nights. We do offer RSP support, speech support, reading intervention. We have a full-time librarian, and our kids visit the library every week to check out books that they can take home. We offer a parent academy in the spring and in the fall. and parents earn certificates and badges by completing the academy. We offer monthly parent workshops. We're pretty busy. I think you could see a little of that energy that we are on high octane volume at all times on our campus. And we expect the kids to also give their very best and be full of energy and excitement in all the things that they approach. And so we try to reward the kids a lot with raffles and different type of incentives, guest speakers, and just having wonderful assemblies that we bring onto the campus. We do have a full-time counselor on our campus. We have the best cafeteria team in the entire district that go out of their way to decorate and create thematic lands into the cafeteria so that the students have a completely different experience while they go and have lunch and breakfast. And we do offer 3 playgrounds on our campus so that all students are safely playing, divided by grade levels. So all upper grade students, which would be your 4th through 6th graders, have their own playground area and their own restrooms. The lower grade students, which we consider to be in 1st through 3rd grade, have their own playground section, plus their own restrooms. And the kindergartens have their own area that is called kindergarten land here on our campus. And they end up having also their own playground that's just for kindergarten with their own garden. And they also have their own restrooms that are just for kindergarten students. And those are some of the ways that we try to ensure safety, but that we also give equity and access to all students. And then my next slide is showing you when we offer our school tours. So the following dates are all the hours that we are doing school tours this month and next month. You do not need to call us in advance. You can just show up to our front office and say, hi, we're here to have a dual language tour of your school. And we have plenty of staff who will give you a personalized tour. Or you can call us in advance. And then maybe if one of these days we have a parent workshop, you would be welcome to stay at our parent workshop and get to have a little feeling of what it's like to be here at Hillcrest, so that one day maybe you and your child can become part of our Husky Pack. And I believe that our next presenter will
I'm going to
be
go
Dr.
over the
Sun and Miss Williams.
So some challenges and commitments in a dual language program. There are definitely challenges that you will face as a parent, and your students may also face the linguistic challenges as well. So one of the challenges that they face is frustration, because imagine being in a space where you may not always understand your teacher. And so your children may not feel like they understand what the teacher is saying, but this is normal and it's temporary. And I do have to say that our kindergarten teachers are like magic. They make magic happen in their classrooms, where our teachers are really engaging with the students, that they have a lot of fun. Our kindergartners at Duff, they cheer for homework. They cheer to go into the classroom, and our teachers are just amazing in doing that, making sure that they feel welcomed. There is also some student frustration that happens in 2nd and 3rd grade because they're having a lot of fun. But I want you to think about your high school language learning experience. Maybe the first year, like your French one or Spanish one, sounded really fun. You're learning all the new words. But then when you get to Spanish 2 or Spanish 3 or French 2 or French 3, now we're learning how to conjugate things, right? And it may not be as interesting anymore. Then this is kind of how it is in 2nd and 3rd grade, where we have this shift from learning to read to reading to learn, which happens in our classrooms as we get into our language arts in both English, in Spanish, or in Mandarin. So we would love for you to sit with the frustration and talk your students through this frustration and help them persevere through this. And this is partially why we have the brain research that shows that dual language students are able to complete more complex cognitive tasks because they go through this type of frustration and they persevere through it. So it is normal, and we encourage you to encourage your students through this process. We also understand that English proficiency in primary grades may not be as high as students in the English only program, but this is because they are learning 2 languages at the same time, right? Not their time during the school day is split into 50-50, or in the model at Dewey, they're spending a lot of time learning Spanish and not as much time learning English. But that is okay, because research has indicated time and again that because English is our environmental language, our students achieve similar, if not higher levels compared to their English-only peer programs in the upper grades by 5th and 6th grade. So please sit with the challenges, know that there are challenges that are going to be ahead, and it's okay. And please talk to us if you feel like your students are meeting these types of challenges, or if you feel challenged yourself as well. And Denise is going to talk about the commitment on your end as a parent.
Hi, so yes, it is a different design. We want parents to understand that this dual language program, it does align with the expectations of progressive outcomes. During the entire program, you're going to see that you're going to gain benefits. Again, a second being a dual language program, you will start to see the students speaking and understanding various languages. You are also the benefit is you're going to see they are going to become more aware of the cultures that are also related to the languages. We ask that parents serve as partners in promoting this program. Both Dr. Quintana and Dr. Sun and myself provide parent workshops. So we encourage you to commit to coming and joining our parent workshops and meetings so that we can offer support of how you can support your child at home through this program. We ask the students to make that commitment of working hard, persistent efforts, trying to meet the requirements of this program. Again, there will be some challenges of frustration, but again, that's temporary and normal. So we ask the students to not give up.
And I think I can also add on to both Dr. Sun and Ms. Williams that part of sometimes the frustration of the child might be that they're getting double the amount of homework. And so parents, you need to be aware that since they're getting 2 languages in their instruction, they will be receiving twice the homework. They will get their homework that's in Spanish and English if they're in that dual language program, or they will be getting Mandarin and English homework if they're in the Mandarin dual language program. So they might see that one of their siblings or maybe their cousins are already finished with their homework and they still have more work to do, but that's because of the program design. And it's meant to reinforce what they are learning in the classroom and to be able to develop their language proficiencies. So please support your child, be their #1 cheerleader, and that is how you overcome those little frustrations that are normal. So now for the exciting part. How do you apply to these 3 amazing schools? And how do you get into your schools of choices? So this is open, remember, to all students that are within the Garvey School District that are going to be entering kindergarten. And it's also open to students that are older who are seeking maybe a classroom dual language that is in 1st through 6th grade. We do accept students that are older, and we will be giving a language assessment to determine if the child is able to get into the program and also if there's space availability. But we also are open to non-Garvey School District students as well. So you don't have to live in our school district to attend our district. You would have to then just get a permit. So we are talking about inter-permits and intra-permits. So one of them is that you might live further away. So for example, maybe you live closer to Dewey, but you have decided that you're going to go to a Mandarin dual language school. So then you would get a permit so that you can attend the other school that has that dual language program. Same thing if you live outside of the Garvey School District area. For example, maybe you live in the Montebello area, or maybe you live in the Pico Rivera area. You would then ask that school district to release you before you're able to attend Garvey School District once you have submitted your application. So we accept applications starting from now, and then we will post the deadline right now in a little while. So remember that we're also open to special education students as long as the IEP team has met and discussed that this is the most beneficial placement for your child. So that would have been noted in the IEP team goals and notes. So we do accept students with special education IEPs. And again, we accept students that are within our district and outside of our district, but space is limited in all of the classrooms. Because as you can see that our schools are not ginormous locations where we can accept hundreds of kids every single year. We wish we could, but then we probably would be taking kids from all over California immediately. So apply as soon as you can, once you have decided that this is the right fit for you and that these are the most amazing 3 campuses that you would like to be part of. Next slide, Dr. Sun. So here's the information you really need to know. The applications are now available. You can apply online, and here's the link. Or you can complete an application that can be picked up at any of our schools. You don't even have to go to a dual language school to pick up an application. So if you are next to a school that's not dual language, they have applications at their front office that you can pick up, fill out, and turn into the offices. And then all the applications will be sent to the district office if they are by hard copy. Of course, the online ones will immediately be through email sent in that way. We are accepting applications starting yesterday all the way through February 29. So you technically have about a month to decide. Well, so many choices. Dewey, Duff, Hillcrest, so many choices for you to decide and put priority of what's your first choice, your second choice, and your third choice. And then once you have submitted your application, we also recommend that you visit your home school district if this is not your school district, and you ask for an inter-district permit so that you can be released. And then you would be giving them a copy of the flyer information for Dual Language Plus to let them know that you are enrolling your child in a Dual Language Plus school at Garvey School District. And then that is how the other school district would be able to release you, because school districts release you if they are not able to offer the program that you are looking for. And we are unique and original. Remember, we are Dual Language Plus. We are offering more than just 2 languages to your child. And then our next slide is going to show you what you need to do also. So please complete as much as possible accurate information, because if you will make a mistake, that could delay us in being able to review your application. So please print neatly so that we can understand everyone's information, or type it up if you're doing it on the computer. So please make sure you include your child's first name and last name, the date of birth, gender, any siblings who might already be in the Dual Language Plus program, your name, your last name, your contact number, what is the school of residence. So that is also considered the neighborhood school. So if you live nearby Duff, you would say that Duff is your school of residence. If you live nearby Dewey, you would say Dewey is your school of residence. But for example, if you live near Dewey, but you're selecting to come to Hillcrest or Duff, you would still write Dewey as your school of residence, because that is where you first belong to before you can move to another campus. Please include your email and your home address so that we can be able to contact you while all the applications are getting reviewed. Then comes your choices. You will see all 3 schools are listed. You have Dewey Avenue Elementary School with their address. You've got Duff Language Magnet Academy, and then you've got Hillcrest Elementary School. Please select your order of priorities. What is your first choice school, your second choice school, and your third choice school? Do you have to write 1, 2, and 3, all 3? Of course not. But you are always welcome to put all 3 on your application. We then also have a very important criteria for you that goes back to what Dr. Sun and Ms. Williams mentioned about the commitments. In the program acceptance, we would like for you to recognize and acknowledge that you understand that a Dual Language Plus program is a special program for your child that aligns with the design characteristics, but also with commitment from both not only parents, the student, but the teachers. So this is a collaboration between all 3 of us so that we can provide the best education for your child. So if you are in agreement that you are going to participate in our orientation and attend some workshops and events, that you will be supporting your child in the acquisition of their target language and English, that you will try to volunteer if you're able to, if your schedule permits, because we do know that you are very busy parents with jobs and careers. And also, if you are committing for the duration of the program, that means that you are enrolling your child in dual language as a kindergartner, and you are hoping for your child to remain through 6th grade so that they can get the full maximum benefits of their curricular program. Then you're going to put a little check. And then your child, even though they're going to be a kinder, if they understand that they're going to go into a dual language program, at least knowing that they're going to learn lots of languages and not just only English, then they put a little check. Sometimes we have families that enroll children that have no idea they're going into a dual language program. And so we would like for this to be a successful opportunity for everyone. So even your child as small as your little kinder needs to know that it is a dual language program so that they know they're going to listen to other languages and there will be lots of multiculturalism and multilingualism taking place. And then this one's very important. It's the age of your child. Please note that if you understand that we have priority for kindergarten age children first before we consider TKs. TKs are the children that are 4 years old and they are not 5. We do accept TKs when there is space. And at the end of our presentation, we will also remind you how much space is available for the next school year in kindergarten. So if you are aware that we only consider TKs and you understand, then you put a little check. The next question is asking you timely submission of your program participation application. If there are more applications than available spaces, say for example, there are only 50 spaces at Dewey, this is just an example, don't quote me, and 200 people submitted an application, that means that there's going to be quite a lot of people on a wait list. So you are checking there saying that you understand that there will be a wait list should there be that many applications at a school. And every year, there are waitlist parents. So please know that there are waitlists every single year. We are letting you know right now from the start that these are high demand programs and we get lots of applications every single year. But we do call every family back and let you know if you're on the wait list, what number you are on the wait list so that you know where you are on the wait list at all times. And we call back everyone to keep giving you updates. We also have a little asterisk at the bottom of our section where it says program reassignment. The district will monitor the progress of your student. That means that we have lots of mini conferences besides just teacher-parent conferences. Well, you might be asked to come to a school meeting so that we can discuss the progress of your child. We're always monitoring that your child is making progress and that they are being successful in the program. And sometimes there does come in, sometimes that window where there are occasions where a child might sometimes have to be placed in an English only program because dual language is not the right fit for them because they might be having a lot of challenges or for other factors that are out of control. And so we do want you to know that that is a possibility if we see that there is no progress that is happening with your child after all these interventions and all the support has been put in place. Because I believe you heard from all of these administrators today that we offer a lot of intervention and support for your child. There's tutoring available at the 3 schools. We are committed completely to your child's well-being. And so we will have lots of meetings as we monitor the progress.
So that was for kindergarten. And for grades 1st through 6, we want to remind you that you are definitely able to join our students in grades 1st through 6 in the dual language program. However, there is a language competency exam that the students have to pass because the students have already spent some time. The other students have already spent some time in learning the language, and we just want to ensure that your students would feel successful in a dual language program. So for grades 1st through 6, there is a language exam that the students will need to pass. And we still have the space availability issue that we need to take into consideration, that you understand. If you would like to have your students join us, we need to make sure that we have the space first. We also ask for the same parent commitment that you participate actively in all of our schools. We have the students' commitment as well, where they make persistent effort to meet the program requirements. And as I mentioned, we have our student language proficiency that is important.
I think we also need to let the parents know that part of the program reassignment, in case you're wondering, well, what does that mean if they have to be placed in an English only program? Keep in note that Duff does not have both programs, the dual language and English only. Dr. Sun said that the school is also, if your child starts having lots of challenges, they might have to transfer over to a campus that has an English only program. And so you want to make sure that everyone is doing their part, parents doing their part, child's doing their part, and staff and teachers and principal are doing their part, so that collectively together, we are doing the best for the child, because that would become the last resort if we have to change a student from a school campus.
Our notification. So we have our application window between right now all the way up until February 29th, right? February 24th. I don't remember which date.
February 29th.
February 29th. And you will receive program notification on April 12th. You will receive a notification whether you are accepted into the program or not, or if you have been put on our waiting list. Okay, and please remember that there are always more applications than there are spaces for our students. At Duff, at the kindergarten level, there are 48 spaces open. We have 24 students in each class. So for the kindergarten class, we have 24 seats. And priority will be given to our students or to the application in a first come, first served basis. So I hope that all of you have already had the chance to complete your application. Dr. Quintana, how many spaces do you have in your kindergarten class?
That will determine if some future TKs are committing to dual language kindergarten here at our campus. So we thought we had 50 spaces, but we might have less than 50 spaces if some TKs are debating if they're going to move into dual language. So that might take a couple of spaces because they've already been in our school.
And Ms. Williams, how much space do you have at Dewey?
Due to the number of classes we have, we at Dewey only have one Spanish dual language class per grade level. So we would only have 24 spaces at Dewey kindergarten.
So whether or not you are accepted into the program, you will receive notification whether you are in the program or whether you are on the wait list, and your position on the wait list will be provided for you. And Ms. Williams will let you know of the online enrollment.
So once you receive that notification and you are accepted, we will have online enrollment starting in April. What this is, late April, early May, and what this is to start creating the enrollment packet. In the old days, you would come and you would fill out on a piece of paper. We have a quicker system where you can register online and you can get all the information. We definitely need to know contact information, emergency information. So we would begin that online process for the school that your child will be attending. Once you get that, again, the acceptance into the program, you will also be invited into a virtual orientation, an online, like similar to today, where you would receive more instructions for the online enrollment process. So we will have an online meeting to give you more details on how to do that. And however, each school, we do have support, our staff support, that if parents still need more clarification for those online enrollment details, you can always contact the school that your child will be participating in that program, and we can always give you parent assistance.
Yes, we all have extremely helpful staff who are happy to help you. So if at any point you encounter any issues, please come to our school offices and we are happy to assist you in any way.
Parents, you also can be writing in your questions if you have questions for us, because we can answer all your questions. We have lots of panelists here who have answers for you, and you can always call our offices if you have additional questions as well.
We just have a question right here that says, do I need the intra-district permit before sending the enrollment request? You do not need to have that ready yet. But it is nice to start preparing for it if that is what you would like to request. But in the initial application for you to submit, you do not need to have the intra-district permit yet. Grace
We do have
asks,
another
will there
question.
be a dual language program in 7th grade and beyond? We are working on the middle school dual language pathway at the moment. As you have seen, all of our students, we all started the dual language programs at the same time, and we are at 5th grade at the moment. So we are currently building our dual language pathway for the middle schools.
The goal will be to have it ready so that the 6th graders will have a direct link into the middle school.
What are some of your other questions that we may answer for you? You can put it in the Q&A. We do ask that you aim for the stars. Bilingualism is one of the biggest gifts that you can give to your students, and we are providing it for free, right? So one of the dual language students said this. My last comment is this: wherever life takes you, being bilingual will always be useful. Being bilingual has helped me, or being multilingual has helped me in everywhere I've gone. And everyone you see here, as you can see, speak multiple languages as well. What are some of your other questions that you would like to ask? Please feel free.
So we had someone who asked if there's a deadline for submitting the permits, and the permits are based on your acceptances. So once you get accepted, you want to be able to turn in your permit as soon as you can, so that that will guarantee your spot. But there's no specific like, oh, by this day, but we are enrolling families and children. And so, calendar when you need to go see the offices to turn your items in. That way you don't miss any of your timelines, because you also want to plan, the calendar for the school year so that you are ready.
We do have a question that says, do you know how many middle schools in the district offer the Mandarin dual language program? We only have 2 middle schools in Garvey School District. We have Temple Middle School and Temple Intermediate and Garvey Intermediate. And in planning for the dual language pathway, we are trying to determine which school that program will be placed. So that is to be determined.
Our next question reads, I currently have a 2nd grader and a kindergartner. And then that means that would they need to take a test if they are in an upper grade, like 2nd grade? And will that test be in Mandarin or English? So all children that are in 1st through the 6th grade who are applying into the dual language program will need to take the language assessment in the target language. So if you are applying for the Spanish dual language program, the assessment will be in Spanish. And if you are applying for the Mandarin dual language program, then the assessment will be in Mandarin to determine that your child will be able to succeed and have enough of a little foundation to be able to do well and catch up with anybody who had been in the program before them.
Miss Edie asks, how many hours of parent involvement per week should we reserve to help our kids once they're in the dual language program? This is up to the parents. For me, I tell my parents all the time that make sure you read with your students for at least 20 minutes each day in either English, your language of choice, whatever it is that you do. The 20 minutes of reading, that literacy component is just so important for your students. Our teachers also try not to give too much homework so that your students are still able to play and have fun. I would say based on grade levels, usually.
And again, I believe Dr.
Usually we have about 10 minutes of time for homework in kindergarten, about 20 minutes in first grade, about 20 minutes in second grade, and 30 minutes for third and fourth grade, and about 30 to 35 to 40 minutes in fifth grade. It really just depends on the teachers, but that is the recommendation. But the most important part is the 20 minutes of reading every single day with your students. That is the best way to help your students be successful.
And also, once you're enrolled and you're part of our programs, you'll have lots of meetings at the beginning of the year where the teachers will share the schedules and the expectations, and every classroom will let you know what will be the homework expectations as well, because children also perform at different levels. We've got children that are very quick at completing their homework and they go play, and then we've got some that take a little bit longer because they take a lot of little breaks and have snacks. You know your child best. You'll know that if you're going to have a child that's going to be very quick at completing their assignments, or if they're going to take a little bit longer.
Exactly.
And there's another question. Ms. Jeanette said, if my child is placed on a full English program due to challenges with either Chinese or Spanish, is there a way they can get full English, but with less time for the second language? So unfortunately, if they are out of the dual program, then it is either in the dual or out of the dual. We don't lessen the time. But again, if they're in the dual language program and they are struggling, then the first option is not just to take them out. All teachers, whether they're in the Gen Ed program or dual language, we offer support. There are supports in place at every school with intervention. How can we help support the child to be successful? So we don't lessen the instructional time. What we do is offer more intervention and help support.
What are some of your other questions that you would like to ask?
It looks like that our parents are out of questions, but hopefully many of our families here will come and visit all of our campuses or visit one of our campuses, and then they can ask more questions while they're here in person.
So with that, we encourage you to reach out to us, and we will end this informational meeting for now. We hope to see you at our school tours, and we hope definitely to see you on our school campuses pretty soon for the next school year. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.